Zavier, I'm wondering, you go against a lot of great guards at Newtown. What makes Io DeSumo difficult to cover?
He was a really good player. He's a confident player. You can tell by his shot selection. So we were just trying to stay in front of him, trying to limit his touches in the second half. With him 19 points in the first half, and just make sure we're in our gap principles.
This is for either of you, but you guys are taking care of the ball well all season, and then you come in tonight and Illinois kind of gives you guys some fits a little bit, causing you to turn the ball over. Just what about their defensive scheme made that troubling for you guys?
With their pressure, with them pressuring us, and their gap principles, it's going to be difficult for any team. They try to wear you down. They really make you tough mentally. So it's important that, like in a game situation, that you control the ball, pivot right, pass it to your defender, and just find an open man.
Zavier, what changed in the second half against the press?
Nothing really. Our coaches got on us about our turnovers. I think we had 11 in the first half. 11, I think so. And we just come out. He just told us to pivot better, find an open guy, make the extra pass, and just stay disciplined. With them pressuring, they're going to try to wear us down. You're going to get tired as the game goes on. But it's important that you just stay mentally disciplined.
Rob.
John, can you talk about defending the pinch post play? How was that scouted, and what did you learn?
I mean, it's very unique, but our scout team did a very good job. I mean, Jaron, he's not here right now, but he's back home watching. He's our big man on the scout team, and he did a tremendous job this past week getting us ready. There's how fast they play. It's hard to kind of replicate on the scout team, but I think our scout team did a tremendous job this past week getting us prepared. I mean, that really helps us, and they're doing really well. I mean, at the start of the season, they were struggling getting down just main concepts, but now that I don't know how many games we played, but they're really rolling right now, and that really helps us. And they really prepare us really well.
In the middle.
John and Zavier, you guys tied the program record for best start to a season. I mean, how humbling is it to accomplish that? Only the third team to accomplish that in over 100 season program.
I mean, it's special, especially with this group of guys. They're my brothers, but that's not what we're focused on. We're taking one game at a time, one practice at a time. We'll get back tomorrow, we'll watch film, what we did right, what we did wrong, and we'll get ready for Northwestern on Sunday.
Xavier, I guess does it register at all for you? I mean, like I said, only 3 teams in program history have ever reached this
Of course, we're happy we have that achievement, that we accomplished that achievement, but at the same time, we want to keep going. We're happy, but we're not satisfied. We have Northwestern on Sunday. We just want to keep playing our game, stay locked in, stay focused, and just be ready for the next game. But at the same time, I mean, of course we're happy, but we're not satisfied.
And then down the stretch, past 2 games, you've been fouled at the center line. You guys kind of closed into the line. I know that was kind of a struggle for you guys last season. I mean, how much more confident, how much more different do you guys feel the line closing games out there?
Definitely it was a struggle the past season for us, but at the same time, that's when we have to just stay locked in during practice instead of messing around at the free throw line or whatever the cause may be. Just stay mentally locked in. Imagine us winning a game in a situation like that, knocking them down. And we just trust everyone to go to the line, just knock them down. Of course, there's going to be some time where some players may have some difficulties, but that's when our brotherhood steps in and just pick our brother up, and so the next time they're at the free throw line, they can knock them both down.
Zavier, there were a few points there in the second half where you guys would go up by 10 and they're closed back in within 5. And they got within, I think, 7, and you hit a big 3-pointer there late. Did you kind of feel like that was a really big shot in the game?
Definitely. Anytime you hit a 3, when the team's chipping back at the lead, I feel like it's good. I just wanted to step in and just knock it down, put my team in a better position than we were in the previous situation, so we can increase the lead and hopefully secure the win.
Xavier, on that possession, it didn't, John signal for a timeout. It didn't even look like you looked to him for a timeout. You guys kind of ran into a play. I wonder if what kind of freedom he's given you guys when things kind of do get maybe a little dicey like that.
We definitely have a lot of freedom with any game, but a game against Illinois where they're pressuring you and they're taking you out your offense, that's a game where you have all the freedom. It's just more about less plays, more about decision making. Individual talent shows up, and during a time like that, we just wanted to step in, just knock it down, get back on defense, and just keep playing. But at the same time, players make plays.
Zavier, you mentioned Illinois' pressure defense. How were you able to overcome that to get 8 assists and just 2 turnovers today?
Find the open man. If they're pressuring like that, they're definitely going to try to wear you down there in the gaps. It's important that your decision making is precise, but at the same time, teams like this, you got to just go. You got to just play. You may not be able to make as much ball entries as you normally make. So sometimes it may just be a ball screen, maybe just getting downhill, finishing at the basket. If somebody step up, kick it to someone, then kick it to someone, but you have to just play out of that.
Is that part of the reason that so many guys scored today, 5 guys in double digits?
That could be, but at the same time, we have a lot of confident players on our team. Guys on our team are extremely confident in their play, and I feel like we're a very unselfish team. So if everyone just plays the right way, find an open man, I feel like we'll get quality shots.
X, you had a wraparound pass to John in the first half when you were double teamed. Could you even see him, or did you just know he was there? Or do you remember that play?
Yeah, I know I was going downhill, and I felt like on the opposite side they were staying at home with the shooters. And I seen a big guy in front of me, and I knew my defender that John said the screen on was trailing. And I kind of looked at the corner of my eye, and I seen the other guy going to his man, and I knew John had to be open. But at the end of the day, John has a great feel for the game. His IQ is extremely high. So we play well off each other, I knew. And I told him before that, just roll, just find an open seam so I can just hit you for the pass.
John, does he ever surprise you with a pass like that, or at this point you kind of know?
I mean, I'm always expecting it. I mean, if all the guys get downhill, they don't have a shot, I know I'm going to kind of their drop off. So I'm expecting the pass. I get ready for it. And for me, he found me, and I was able to finish it.
Good time for one more question for these guys. Joe?
John, what did you make of Georgie down in the paint? He's a freshman. What did you see out of him? What kind of challenges did he present for you guys tonight?
I mean, he presented a big challenge. He's a great player. He's going to have a great career at Illinois. And just being a freshman, he's going to be a very good player. He can go over both shoulders in the post. And, being lefty, that's very unique. And so you can get over his right shoulder. And I mean, he's capable of making that 15-foot. And I know he's working on that 3-point shot. We're watching film on him. He's able to knock that down. And I think he's going to be a tremendous player in the future.
Okay, thank you. Coach in the back.
Kind of like my wonderful SID had my glasses the whole time.
You cleaned them.
Yeah, you cleaned them. So, I mean, we feel very fortunate. As you know, last time we came in here a year ago, we got whacked, and we were knowing right now how good this league is, how good every home team is, how to win on the road is really difficult. This Illinois team is really going to be good, and I think we were successful in here tonight. I don't think a lot of teams could be as successful this year. So I really like the way Illinois is playing right now, and they're a tough team, and I knew it was going to be a grind-out game, and it was. And fortunately, we got the W. We got to the foul line. We kept them off the foul line. We kept up their offensive rebounds, which is a big part of we kept them off the backboard. And despite those 11 turnovers in the first half, we were able to have a halftime lead. Second half, we were a much better team.
Question.
John, what about keeping Iowa away from the paint, especially after that Langston quarter for the end?
Well, in the first half, and it was I don't know for sure, but the flow of the first game was so different because of the turnovers that we had. It's you could coach forever, and the turnovers are so different where they happen. It's really hard to have a turnover defense and get into lanes, and so he's a problem when he's in space. Second half, we didn't turn it over. We made some shots. We could set our defense better.
John, in scouting, I would assume what makes him, so special so early. Obviously, a guy, scouts early.
I watched him in summer basketball. I was really impressed. Number one, but when you see those guys in summer basketball, many times when they get out in their in this one, where they're scouting reports, a typical guy like him, that's sort of a combo guy, would have more turnovers than assists. He would be shooting. He'd be telling everybody he's a shooter, he'd be shooting 25%, right? And he might become a 40% shooter in college or the pros. He's doing it right now. you know, for him to see the floor like he did, make some of the plays. Did he have both the blocks? Did he make both the blocks as well? So he's really he's much more complete player. He's sort of like our kid Iggy. He's just playing above his years as a freshman, and that's important. If you're going to win, and you need freshmen, they got to play above their years.
We got down to 63-56 in the second half. They're coming off a made basket. You opted not to call timeout. You kind of just let the play go, and ended up, I think, Zavier with a 3. Where is this group in terms of you kind of giving them that freedom to not?
Well, I think I was uncharacteristic in the first timeout I called. I think I called it even when we had I think it was a 5-point play that we came down. I forget what we did on it, but it became a 5-point play, and I just called timeout. I know it was a 2-on-1 lob, right? And then they hit a 3 at the other end, and it was so. No, I think we're getting better with that. And here's the other thing: is the way that Illinois plays, you're not going to be able to run a lot of plays anyhow. You got to just get guys in formations and attack. And so as a result, when we did settle them down, I thought they got the message. And any other time that they got close, they got to look at Zavier, and they got as good a point guard as there is in the country running our team.
John, how important was it to get those quick points from Isaiah off the bench to start the game?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously missed them, and especially when Charles, if anybody saw the Illinois game last year, Charles had a foul like 15 seconds into that game. And now he got one like 50 seconds into this game. And so I'm not having Isaiah come over to defend, do different things, and just have him coming off the bench is huge for us. Make those points, get the rebounds. He had a beautiful time where he blocked a shot, he ran out, got the ball. I mean, we need him on this team. He's been a real secret to our success.
John, I know this is probably just another win for you, but tying the program record, does this one win maybe resonate a little bit differently?
If you could ask me, that Tom told me, or somebody might have told me that we actually have the record, right? That we did it before, right? We had 16 before one of my teams,
2012,
right? So that's how much I'm going to remember this, right? So if somebody says to me right now, ask me who did your 16th win come last time, I would say I have no idea. I do remember Ohio State broke it. I do remember the losses. I don't remember wins like that.
And then closing the game down at the line down the stretch, I mean, how pleased were you?
Yeah, that was going to be key for us now. You know, we hadn't, as you know, you've been at all the games. We haven't had to close out many like that. We've had double-digit leads at 8-9 lead can go south real quick, especially when they choose to foul immediately. And so Zavier going the line and knocking them down, and Charles making the front end was really big for us to do as well. So 18 for 22, we're going to take that all day, right? Every game this year.
John, you and Brad seem to take over programs in a similar spot. You know, good histories.
Yeah.
You said that Illinois is going to be good. What makes you think that, or what spot is he in compared to what you think you were at that time?
I think when we come in, you got a proud program that is won. Has been good. They're not like at the bottom, right? And now you just sort of got to continue to put the pieces together. Pray for no injuries, because that can decimate a young team, right? Don't want unneeded attrition, and just continue to coach them up and just build the culture every single day, and that's what we do. And now we're at that point where, after 12 years, the culture, we still could have injuries, or we could still have guys, we just miss on guys, but there's a backbone to it. And I think that's really important, that he's got, this is how we're going to play, this is how we're going to go to class, this is how we're going to act off the court. And now we just all build from it, and they hold each other accountable.
Zavier had several nice assists today, one out of a double team, a wraparound. He had that hockey assist, as you call it. I mean, how well is he seeing the floor? Is there anything more you'd like from him offensively at this point?
No, he is really it's always ironic, right? And I think I mentioned before that we've had teams not guard him at all and stay in the paint, and then we've had guys that won't let him get the ball. So we're going to see all kinds of things. We got to continue to find ways to get the ball in his hands, because it's really secure when it's in there. So, but him knocking down the 2 threes, is just, this is trending in the right direction. I don't know if he's ever going to be a Nick Stauskas, right, or a Duncan Robinson out there from 3, but he's going to make enough that people are going to have to play him honest. But he's the way he's seeing John, the way he's seeing everybody else. We didn't shoot well today. He found Jordan a couple times wide open today, and Jordan didn't get it. He should have had double. He could have had 10 assists today.
And then defensively, I know you said lack of turnovers helped with that in the second half, but you also kind of took away that backdoor lob action.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Well, we thought we took care of that in practice the last couple of days, but here's what we were trying to prepare them for. You can't do it with our scout team. The speed that they run their cuts. And the athleticism of that. I came in and just watching the video, and I think they hit us early. I said, this team is as quick as anybody we've played. We played some, maybe not as big, like the North Carolinas might have bigger guys, but they're fast. And when it hits you fast like that, and it's a jump ball at the rim, we were just a step slow. We got used to it.
Hey, John, I remember that Ohio State game, too, and that was the team that did this a lot of peaks and valleys early. What could you pinpoint why this team has been so even?
That team was
that team was super talented, but you guys did this and you did this, and it was a roller coaster.
We lost like 3 or 4 games in February. We won the national championship.
At that point in the year, I'm saying, in January, February.
We needed it. We needed it. Maybe this team will need it.
This team has been even. Can you pinpoint?
You think so?
I mean, I thought so.
It was 16 in a row. I don't think we were up and down.
I mean, in a game.
Later on, we were.
Overall, with this team this year, you guys have been.
I'm supposed to be the negative one.
So you're not agreeing with me on that?
No, I don't think that team was up and down until February. Okay. That's where that team was. We were pretty good. This team's
been even, right?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say a 5-point lead over Binghamton with like 8 points to go, or 8 minutes to go was very good. But and no offense to Binghamton, but they got a young team. So I think we're still growing. Let's just say that we're still growing. And we're going to have peaks and valleys coming up. And how we handle those will be important, whether we're a team that handles it or points fingers at each other and goes downhill. And we got to protect that by having a lot of integrity in our program. Each game you got to come to win. And you got to, every practice you got to go to win. And you do that over and over and over again, it all works out.
Now that you're kind of going in the Big Ten schedule with a group that, the bulk of your rotation is back and has done this before, I wonder how this group is processing your turnaround. When you're installing, a game-to-game against a team like this that is different, how they process it, and is it faster than other groups, or how do they deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, this is a short turnaround to get ready for Northwestern again. I wouldn't say the bulk. With Mo Wagner and Muhammad Ali and Duncan Robinson out there, the bulk is not back. There's a good amount back.
Right? Good amount is back.
Right. So there's a few back. So at the same time, we are. That's the biggest challenge. You go from this team, which is going to be very different. You go from wishbone, and then you're playing the spread offense. You got teams that blitz a lot. You got knuckleball pitchers. You got to continue to adjust. And I hope that we prepare that stuff in October. Is the best that we can, so that in 2 days we can get back to it. But it is difficult to play this team. This is we scored 79 points, but it's the least action we probably run because they're so good at not allowing you to pass the ball.
Anything else for Coach?
A little feisty today, huh? A little feisty. Go ahead. Ask me something that's difficult.
John, you had 5 scores in double figures today. Was that a part of your game plan going into the game to spread it around more, or did that just naturally happen?
I don't think you can do that. We don't go into a game and say we're going to get this guy the ball and get this. We might see some matchups, but we're basically going to take what everybody gives us, and the way that they play, you're going to have to make plays for others, right? And find a guy. And sometimes it's X makes the pass, but the next guy closed out, had a long closeout, so then he got in the lane, and then he found something. So now there was no plan to have everybody score, but this would be perfect, right, for our locker room, that every time everybody had the equal amount of points probably, right? But someday somebody's going to have 25, they're going to have 5. And we just got to continue to grow. It doesn't make a difference what the scoreboard looks like. What does the scoreboard look like, not the box score? All right, thanks everybody.
We had three sports.
Basketball, football, and baseball.
I got a ball in.
Knuckleball.